Hi guys, welcome to Cat Talks, or welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. Today I'm going to be doing the Hello World tag, which was created by Megan Tennant over at Cloud Kitten Chronicles, and she is linked down below. And I was tagged by Christopher Droust, who I will also link below. He's great, you should definitely check him out. Question 1. What genre and age group do you write in? So I write in the fantasy. I write fantasy. I write sort of like political intrigue, or at least I hope to. I hope to one day be as good as Melissa Caruso in her novel The Tethered Mage. But I really enjoy creating worlds and creating all of the people and problems that inhabit them. So yes, I write fantasy. I'm not really sure whether I write new adult, young adult, or adult. I explore a lot of really difficult themes in my novels, such as sickness, death, desertion. So it's pretty intense sometimes, but I know that a lot of young adult authors tackle those subjects as well. There isn't that much sex in my novels. In fact, I'm sort of a more fade to black author, so I guess I would say probably that it could go under new adult or even young adult. I really need to do a video explaining what those things are because I have no idea, personally. I mean, I assume they're age groups, but like, what's the distinction between adult and young adult and new adult? I don't know. Can you even be a writer if you don't know these things? Question 2. How long have you been writing for, and what stage of the writing journey would you say you have reached? So I have been writing since I was about 10. Writing has always been a way for me, same as reading, a way for me to kind of disconnect from who I really am and kind of become another person, or indeed disconnect from the world and become another world. And that's not because I'm unhappy day to day in general. I have a pretty good life. I mean, I live with my partner of 5 years. I have a good and kind of like enjoyable job. I just find it is so much more fun to live in multiple worlds instead of just ours. I've been writing since I was probably, younger than 10, but 10 was when I first started writing properly and like saving novels onto floppy disks and stuff like that. Right now I am in the querying stage. Hashtag. This was a really awkward thing my managers used to do at one of my companies. Hashtag. And this is the dance that my friend and I made out of it. So yes, I am #am querying. I've written my query package. I just haven't like edited it and clicked send, which is my goal for this week, which is terrifying. Question 3. What's your current work in progress? So my current work in progress, I am writing about a mistress and her slave escaping from a authoritarian temple after the mistress is kind of like threatened by this ominous priest. And they have to figure out what they're willing to do in order to escape the city after the city gates are closed on them. I am really enjoying working on it. I'm really enjoying the snake element. So, sorry, spoiler. My god, the god that they worship, is a snake god. He is the god of binding. And Eliza who is the mistress, can do healing magic because of this god that she worships. And when they run away, she loses that connection with the divine that's kind of been her guiding principle. Question 4. Traditional, indie, or unsure? So I said this on the newbie tag as well. I want to pursue traditional publishing first because I am terrified of marketing and advertising and having to get a cover and an editor and things like that. I've got no idea how any of that works, and I'm more than happy to outsource it to other people, professionals who do this kind of thing, 8 to 10 books a week compared to my 1 book a year so far. But if I don't find an agent this year, then I'm going to self-publish. I feel like the novel is really enjoyable. I've had a lot of positive responses from all kinds of beta readers, and I'm not the kind of person who friends are afraid to tell the truth to, I hope. So I've had a lot of harsh critique on the novel itself, but overall, very positive responses to it. So I think it is in a state that readers will enjoy. But the real reason that I want to get it out this year is because the man that I really want to read it has been experiencing some memory loss, and I just want him to see my name in print and attached to a full-length novel before he gets too bad. So I'm on a strict deadline, so I suppose I'm unsure just because of that deadline that I've imposed upon myself, but I would love to be traditionally published just because, like I said, I'm not very good at self-promotion. Question 5. What made you decide to join Authortube? So I have been YouTubing on and off for several years. I think I started in 2015, 2014, I don't know. I've always enjoyed kind of talking to the camera. It's how I got my partner. I wasn't camming. We played an online video game together, I promise. But yes, I've always enjoyed kind of like telling stories. I've expressed myself obviously as an author through the stories that I tell, but also I have a ridiculous life sometimes. For someone who doesn't like to leave the house, strange things happen to me all the time. And through that, I found that I didn't, like, as I was kind of devoting myself to my studies, I didn't have as much time to tell stories or even to go outside. And that faded for a while. When I came back, I discovered Authortube, and I really enjoyed watching the kind of relaxing other people studying content, which was motivational to me to get my grind on and to get my work done. And that was actually how I found Authortube. So I was, before I even joined Authortube, filming a couple of short, like, study with me or write with me sections. And when I found Authortube, it just felt like a natural, I'm home kind of fit. Question 6. Are there any channels, Authortube or otherwise, that inspired you to start making content? Yes, so the channel Ruby Granger was the one that inspired me to move on to doing the kind of content that I do now, which is the study with me and the write with me's. And yeah, I found her really inspirational. She's a super kind of like charming young person who's just started going to university, and you should definitely check out her channel. I also am incredibly inspired by the stories that a gamer called Day9 shares on his channel. He does kind of like story times very occasionally where he shares things that have happened to him in his life, or he shares inspirational advice to the people in his chat. And that's kind of like the effect I want to eventually have on people who follow me and my friends. Just kind of like feel as though you're chatting to a friend and that I can maybe offer some advice or some encouragement and be your personal cheerleader when things go down. When things go down, when life gets hard. Question 7. How long have you been watching Authortube? So I actually only discovered Authortube existed maybe 2 months ago when I first started putting out Authortube videos. So not that long, but in total watch time, probably a significant amount of my watch time on YouTube is devoted to Authortube. I don't particularly enjoy the shouty kind of people. I'm definitely more of a relaxed, talky kind of person. So if all of your videos are like this, and oh my god, you have to hit like and subscribe, I'm probably not going to like your content. I like a little bit more of a chill vibe, which is why my channel is pretty chill. But yes, I spend a significant amount of my time on either book or Authortube. And my voice is going, so I'm just going to go grab some water and I will be right back. Question 8. Is there anything special or unique that you hope you bring to Authortube? No, is the short answer. The long answer is I want to be kind of like a friendly face and someone who you can always count on to be there for you. And I also think I bring a lot of productivity tips and tricks. I have probably one of the most organized lives that, at least among my friends that I know of, I optimize nearly every minute of my day. So hopefully maybe I can bring a bit of that knowledge and expertise to the writing community and just share a bit of that. So for example, in my recent video about Forest or the Sleep Town app, those are the things that I use daily to kind of, well, not always daily, but I use kind of daily to keep on track and to keep myself motivated. Question 9. What inspired you to start writing? So I touched on this briefly. A lot of it was down to things that I wanted to escape from in my life and things that I felt that, yeah, that's it really. I have a very difficult relationship with some of my family members, and reading and writing was a way of me escaping from that. But also just the like epic fantasy worlds that I was dragged into. So for example, some of my younger books that I really enjoyed were things like Alana or Taken and Bitten, and just like the whole other world aspect of those is something that, like, as a kid I was absolutely enamored by. So definitely that. Question 10. What's your favourite piece of writing advice? Alright, so this rounds off the questions. My favourite piece of writing advice is to show up and write. I think as long as you are making a daily or a weekly habit of it, it's much easier to kind of get into the grind and to kind of produce content and to remember what you've written before. If you don't have that, it's much harder to get into the vibe of creating. It's much harder to, at least for me, to continuously inhabit that world. And also, if I'm not writing every day, I lose the pieces of kind of like random thought that show up when I'm in the shower or doing the washing up, where I'm like, oh yeah, that would be really cool, that would solve that narrative problem. If I'm not writing every day, I don't have those flashes of inspiration. So yeah, write every day. There we go. Okay, I'm going to really apologize if I completely butcher these channel names, but I would like to tag Arnelia Hobler and Honoree Louise Ngoyen. Alright? Thanks for watching, guys. If you liked this video, give it a thumbs up down below, and if you want to see more from me, check it out with the subscribe button. Alright, I hope you guys have an absolutely amazing week, and I will see you next Friday. Ciao!